Hello, I am hopping on today with a short tutorial about how to use the mini album die from KS Craft. So this is a really great die set that is super versatile that I think you could use in all sorts of crafting. You can use it to make a mini album. You can use it to make an embellishment book. You can use it for all kinds of things. So I am going to just show you how to put it together. I had someone ask me to do a tutorial, so I decided to go ahead and hop on here and share with you guys how I'm going to put this together. So this is the die set. It comes with like a whole bunch of pieces, but do not be overwhelmed. This is the easiest die set to put together, I swear. So basically you have, these are your, you have one piece that looks like this, and it has a little, little tab here, and the larger one are your covers. Okay, so you're going to cut two of these, and this is going to be your front cover and your back cover. Okay, then you have the spine piece, which looks like this, and you're going to cut one of these. This is going to be your spine. Okay, and then you have a smaller rectangular piece with this tab, and this is your inside pages. Okay, and you're going to cut however many pages you want to put in your book. So it depends on what you're going to use your book for. If you're going to make a mini album, you can put a whole bunch of pages in there. If you're going to make an embellishment book, it depends on how thick your embellishments are. So you kind of have to think about, you know, am I going to be making some really chunky stuff that's going to take up a lot of room, or am I going to be putting a bunch of flat stuff in there? Okay, so that's really how you make the book. Okay, then it comes with all these extra pieces. So it comes with these stitched layering dies that you can cut the pattern paper out of and layer it on top of the book. It comes with this stitched spine piece here that you, again, cut out the pattern paper and glue it onto the spine. It comes with a pocket die so that you can create a pocket for your album. It comes with the layering piece that goes on the pocket. It comes with a rosette die, and I did make some rosettes out of this. I'll show you in just a second. If you're going to use this just as it is, you need to cut this out twice to make a rosette, and it does make a pretty good size rosette. Honestly, this would be a great rosette for like a wand. So if you're looking for a great die for a wand, this is it. And it's got this really cute little detail on the edge here. Okay, then it also comes with these little label pieces. These are just extras that were included in the die set that you can use if you want. And then it also comes with this piece. Okay, sorry about that. I think my video froze for a second. It also comes with this piece, and this piece allows you to glue this onto your page, and then you have all these tuck spots where you can put ephemera or photos or whatever you want, little notes or, whatever you want to tuck into these little slots. Okay, so even though it comes with like a million pieces, don't be overwhelmed because it's very simple to put this together. So I'm going to be using the Maggie Holmes Sweet Story collection. I've been working with this lately, and this is one of my all-time favorite collections. I've already cut the pieces out to the book, and I've already done a little bit of layering just to save us some time. So I'm going to show you kind of how to put the book together, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so let me get all my pieces set up here, and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my spine piece. This is my stitched pattern paper, and I went ahead and stitched it with the sewing machine as well. And I'm just going to take my spine here that I cut out in white, the background, and I'm just going to layer these two on top of each other and adhere them together. Okay, I'm going to be using a combination of some score tape and also some glue. I'm going to use my Bearly Arts glue. So typically what I like to do is put the score tape around the edges where the stitching is, and then put the glue in the center. I think that the tape holds the stitching better than the glue does. Otherwise, I would just glue the whole thing. But sometimes the thread, it takes the glue too long to dry. And it kind of pops up and it doesn't want to stay stuck down. So I am just going to put this tape all around the edges and then put some liquid glue in the center. Okay, so I've got my pattern paper glued down onto my spine, and now I'm going to take my cover piece right here, and I'm going to glue my pattern paper to the front. I went ahead and stitched the panel here. This is going to be my front, so I'm just going to glue this down, and I'm going to make sure that the tab is on the left-hand side so that I can attach this to my spine. Okay, so I'm gonna adhere my front cover pattern paper to the front of my base piece here. And so then you can see that the tab is here on the left. On the inside, I've already put some pattern paper, and then I also included one of those pockets that comes in the kit. And so I've already layered that up on here, okay? Then I'm gonna take my spine piece and I am going to adhere this little tab to the left-hand side of this spine. So just like that, okay? So that the outside is gonna look like this, and this is the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to, I'm going to put some glue. I think it holds a little bit better than the tape, so I'm going to use glue. Okay, and while that's drying, then I'm going to take my back piece here, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the tab on the right-hand side this time. So I'm going to make sure the tab is over here, and then I'm going to glue my outside layer, my pattern paper layer on top right here, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down now. Okay, so we're just going to glue this right here on top with the tab on the right. Try to get it lined up here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to fold this little tab over, and I like to run my bone folder over it just one more time where the little line is there before I fold it. And then I just use the bone folder to make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, and so now I'm going to make sure it's the right direction here, and then I'm gonna just glue this down to this side, just like I did on this side. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so then I end up with a piece that looks like this on the outside. So I've got my spine and my two covers, and then on the inside I've got this going. So I'm gonna just glue my other pattern paper here onto this inside cover here. Okay. Okay, so that's all glued down now. Now I'm not going to put anything here in the center on the inside of the book because I'm going to be gluing down my pages and it's just going to cover up whatever's there anyway, so there's really no point. Okay, so I'm going to leave this open. I cut out three pages, I think. Yes. So I am going to adhere my 3 pages, but before I do that, I want to show you guys how to use this die. This is the one that cuts the slits so that you can tuck the ephemera in. So I'm going to glue it to this side of my page. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to glue it on there. I'm just going to use the liquid glue because I don't have any machine stitching on here. We're just going to go with these faux stitching. I only did the machine stitching on the outside of the album. So basically what you want to do is make sure that you don't obstruct these slots so that you can actually tuck the ephemera in. So I'm just going to put some glue on the outside edge all the way around, all 4 sides. Okay. And then I'm going to leave everything else, but I'm going to glue it up here at the top. So I know at the top part, I'm not going to have anything up here. So I can go ahead and glue this whole top part down up here. But this is hard to see because it's on white. I'm sorry. I can put glue all the way up here, but I'm not going to put any on the bottom because when I tuck stuff in, it's going to go down to the bottom and I don't want the glue getting in the way. So you can put it on the top, but not on the bottom, and don't put it in the middle. Does that make sense? So all 4 edges and the top, that's it. So now I'm going to glue this down and line it up with my page there. Okay, so once that dries, then you can start tucking stuff into these little slots. Okay, and you can tuck it all the way. So, you know, the higher up you go, the deeper, you know, the longer the hole is so that you can put stuff in there. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so now we're going to glue the pages in. Just like before, I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of score on the line where the embossing is from the die, just to make sure that that edge is really good and, you know, folded. And I'm just going to fold it over and use my bone folder to make sure it's flat. Okay, and then I'm going to sort of put one of these in the middle. So because I have 3, I'm going to start with the middle page and I'm going to put it right in the center of my spine, and then I can space the other 2 pages out from there. Okay, so if you have 3 pages, you'll start in the middle. If you only have 2 pages, then you kind of eyeball, you know, putting 2 in there at one time. But because I have 3, I'm going to put 1 in the middle. So I'm going to glue this one down. I'm just going to put some glue on my tab and glue it down in the center here. Okay, and then once I have that glued in, then I'm going to go in and fit my next page right next to it. Okay, so I'm going to put this page in and make sure that your pattern paper is facing upwards if you have, you know, directional paper, and try to line it up so that it's, you know, around the same place lengthwise as the other one that you just glued in, and then you just glue this one in. Okay, so I've got my pages lined up and you can see they're lined up here top to bottom. And then now I'm going to get my bone, I put my glue on there and I'm going to get my bone folder and smooth it out so that it's really flat and I can make sure I'm getting all of that glue adhered to the paper. Okay, and remember that these inside pages are a little bit smaller than the covers, so they're not going to line up exactly with the cover as far as the top and the bottom goes, but it's meant to be that way. Okay, these are the smaller size. So I'm just going to let this dry for a minute and then I'm going to glue in my other page. All right, so again, I'm just going to use my bone folder to smooth this out once I get it where I think it's supposed to be. And it does take, if you're using glue, it takes a minute for it to sort of grip onto the paper, so you kind of have to hold it down. If you're using tape, it holds, you know, immediately. I just find that the glue, for me personally, I find the glue holds better. I haven't found any tape that I think, you know, stands up to the test of time kind of thing. So, okay, so once that is all glued, then this is what the inside of your book looks like. Okay, and so those are the pages there. And you will be able to see the seams down the center where you have glued your pages in. If this bothers you, you can cut little strips of paper to glue on top of the seams. You just sort of measure each one. You know, hopefully they're the same measurement, but if you're like me and you just kind of eyeballed it, they might be a hair different. So I usually just kind of measure each one and then glue a strip of paper down the center on top of these seams to just cover them up. It just gives it like a nicer finish on the inside of the flip book there. But that is it. That is as easy as it gets. You know, within just about 30 minutes or so, you have a you know, a fun little mini album embellishment book. Now you can put like some ribbon here to add a closure, and you would do that before you glued your pattern paper on. I'm not going to do that because I'm actually going to add some trims and ruffles on here on the sides and maybe some tabs and things and kind of get it really chunky and fun. So I'm going to do that here in a little bit. You can see you get a lot of space here. If you didn't want this book to be so thick, you can cut this spine down. So you would just make the spine smaller, and you know, it does have the stitch layer, so you probably wouldn't use that because you would be able to tell that you trim the stitching off. So you would just use a regular piece of paper to cover, but you can make this a book whatever width you want. If you wanted it to be thicker, you just make the spine thicker. So it's really versatile die set, and it offers a lot of possibilities. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is this rosette die that comes with the album. So again, if you're going to make a full-size rosette, you do need to cut this twice, and then you just glue the 2 pieces together to make one super long strip, and it makes this rosette, okay? And the reason you have to cut it twice is because it's a big rosette. So you could add this to the front as decoration. Super cute. I really like the size of this, and you can see it's perfect for this album. If you don't want a rosette that's quite this big, if you want a smaller one, you can also cut this in half. So you just, you know, cut it out on your die cut machine and then use your paper trimmer to cut it in half. And you only need one piece then, and it makes this little tiny rosette. So I love that you can kind of customize it and make it 2 different sizes. You could even layer these on top of each other. to create kind of a fun embellishment there. So that is an option as well. So thank you guys so much for checking out this tutorial. If you decide to create one of these books, please tag me. I'd love to see what you make. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.